All right, we're back, and here I have three typical GED problems dealing with circumference. The first two I actually got out of a textbook, and the third one is typical of something you're likely to see on the exam. All right, so the first two are going to be super easy. The third one is more like what you might see on the exam. So now that you've had a chance to check it out, I'm going to go ahead and sit it here so we can work. All right, here we go. So this first one here says 7 inches. The line segment only goes halfway through the circle, so that means the radius is 7 inches. However, our formula says pi times diameter. Now, if you want to go back and check your notes, radius is half the diameter. So that means if we want the diameter for this, the diameter is going to be double what this line is. And so since 7 inches is that line, if you put the other half of the line in there, that's going to be 7 more inches. Right? And so then that's going to be 14. And then following our formula, because remember, geometry is really easier than algebra is because it's all about following instructions. Once you know how to multiply, add, subtract, divide, and exponents, all you need now is to learn how to follow directions. So pi times diameter, that's going to be 3.14 times 14. Right? 3.14 times 14 should give us our circumference. And since it is okay to use a calculator on portions of the GED, I'm going to pull out my calculator now and deal with this. 3.14 times 14 gives us an answer of, and the way you would write that is circumference equals 43 and 96 hundredths of an inch. Right? And that would be our answer for number 1. Alright? Now, second one, a little more difficult. I told you I got this out of the book. They are trying to play with your mind. Don't let them win. Your line segment here is labeled at 4 meters. This other line segment that you have here is coming from the same endpoint in the middle of the circle, so it doesn't really matter that it's going a different direction. It's still 4 meters because it's starting at the same place. Now again, just like the first one, radius doesn't really help us. We need diameter. So that means that if I finish the circle like so, that's going to give me 8 meters as a diameter. And then our formula should go circumference equals 3.14 times 8. Right? And we can run through this right quick. We don't need a calculator for this. 8 times 4 is 32. And then 8 times 1 is 8. 3 more is 11. 8 times 3 is 24, and 1 more is 25. When you're multiplying decimals, you got 2 numbers after the decimal in the problem, so you need 2 numbers after the decimal in the answer. And don't forget your meters. You will definitely get it wrong on the test because they set it up for you to get it wrong if you forget to write meters. So our answer then, the circumference of this circle is 25 and 12 hundredths of a meter. Alright, now for this last one, like I said, it's typically how it's going to look on the test. So this one's real important. And I'm actually going to clear some room so that we can deal with this here. So let me just erase this other stuff we've done, accomplished already. All right. And now this says the circumference of a circle is 314 centimeters. What is the diameter? So this is actually going backwards from what we've been doing prior to right now. Before now, we've been trying to find the circumference. Here, they already told us the circumference is this number here, and we want to find the diameter. Still, easy, piece of cake. And the way to think about this is, remember, you're following instructions. So back to your formula, circumference equals pi times diameter. In this case, we already know what the circumference is, so that means that 314 equals 3.14, because that's pi. Fix that, times the diameter, which is what we were looking for here, right? And so the way to think about this is a good way to think about this is 2 times 3 equals 6, and then to go backwards from there, 6 equals 3 times 2. Right? If 2 times 3 is 6, you want to go backwards, you would divide 6 divided by 3 to give you 2. Right? That's how you would come up with this second line, because you're in the process of going backwards, which is exactly what's happening here, right? Because we're supposed to be finding the circumference. They told us the circumference, so we got to go backwards, the opposite. Okay? So, same thing with division here. What we're going to do is we are going to divide these two numbers here, and that should tell us our diameter. So let's see. That's going to be 314 divided by 3.14 equals D. Now, I know the answer, but I'm going to go ahead and go through the motions because I want you to go through the motions. So take a minute. And 314 divided by 3.14. And that should give us what? 100. Absolutely. Kind of running out of space here. So I'm just going to write D. Can you see it? Yeah. D equals 100. With a situation like this, it's always a good idea to go back and check your work. And it's easy to check your work. All you got to do is follow the instructions again. Right? So pi times diameter. That means that they told us that we said diameter was 100, and we know pi is 3.14. So that's 3.14 times 100 equals. And a little trick to multiplying big giant numbers like this, if you didn't know already, whenever you multiply a number by 100, the only thing that's going to happen is this decimal is going to move 2 places to the right because there's 2 zeros there. And when you move that decimal 2 places to the right, you are definitely going to get 314. So, hope that was helpful. I know the board is small, but I think you could deal with it. So stay tuned. I'll be right back for area of a circle.